just kind of to reflect back on the Orange Blossom Classic from 2022, it wasn't the best showing for your team, right? Like we understand that there were issues and things like that. Just what can you learn? Is there anything that you can learn from a game obviously like that? Because obviously you guys went on to win 9 in a row after that. But do you guys ever, now that Orange Blossom Classic, the three-peat, the 3-time going against Jackson State for the 3rd time in a row, are there things that you and your team talk about when it comes to that game in 2022? Or is 2022 is past and you're looking forward to 23? Like, how does that work now that the Orange Blossom Classic 23 is upcoming?
Yeah, well, we said the same thing from the start of last season, and we feel this wholeheartedly, and we feel the same way today. FAMU's biggest opponent is FAMU. We're talented. We're extremely talented. We have a great coaching staff. We have great support from our administration, from our leadership, from our fan base. And so if we can do the things that we need to do, we'll be successful. The game last year was all self-inflicted stuff. I mean, every single thing that happened to us was self-inflicted. This is no disrespect to Jackson. This takes away nothing that they did. I mean, Shador Sanders had a phenomenal game. Started, I think, 17-17. Well, even when you look at that, our coverages were off. Guys weren't in the right places. We weren't rerouting receivers. We were leaving guys uncovered. We were missing tackles. I mean, you name it, we did it. We turned the ball over 4 or 5 times. Every unconventional way to score, they did. Blocked the punt for a touchdown, picked up a fumble for a touchdown, got a pick 6 for a touchdown. So that's 3 touchdowns in unconventional ways that typically don't happen in a football game. We just did silly stuff the entire day. It was the Murphy. I call it the Murphy's Law game. Anything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And so, and it was from the very beginning, right? And so for us, we look back and reflect and say, hey, we didn't give ourselves a chance to win the game. And even as coaches, that started with us, and even in our preparation. When we got to Miami, the things we did down in Miami Gardens, all of those things we've had to reevaluate, and we're going to do those things differently this year. And so with our team, we understand that the focus has to be on doing the little things right. That second F in our program is fundamentals. And so those are habits. Those are the little things that it takes to be successful. And so we got to really, really focus on that because the talent is there. And if we do that, we feel like there's not a team on our schedule that can beat us toe to toe if we do those little things right. And so that's the takeaway from last year's game. That's the takeaway from North Carolina as well. It was the same thing. It was self-inflicted wounds that started, in the summertime and transitioned into, the certification process. Some were in our control, some weren't. But we got to control the things that are in our control, and that's our focus and our preparation. So, again, the game happened. You can't deny it. Jackson State fans get to brag on it until the cows come home. Until we line up and play in September, they get to brag about, beating us 59-3 last year. It was an embarrassing loss. We're one of the most embarrassing losses of my coaching career as a coach and a player. And but the good thing is, God willing, we get a chance to right that wrong, this year in Miami Gardens. And this is a brand new football team. They have a brand new football team. And I don't think anything that happened last year will have any bearings on what happens in this year's edition.